This week's video is going to be different from my usual ones. It isn't a travel vlog of where I've been lately, or a food review showing you a new place I found in town, or even a 20-minute visual diary of my friends and I having a jolly good time. This video is just going to be me in my bedroom, sitting down and having an honest chat of how I've been feeling recently. I filmed this last week after coming back from being interviewed for a cool project that I'm not really allowed to talk about yet, but when I came home I felt an urge to just sit down and chat to camera, and this was the result. Also, sorry about the messy bedroom. I came straight home to record this and I didn't stop to jazz up the background. Whoops. Hi. Trying to wait for it to focus. I thought I would pop in here before the actual video starts because I need to explain some of the context of some of the things that I was saying. I was watching back and realised that I kind of went straight in to talking about how I was feeling without explaining why I was feeling the things that I was feeling. It's been a week after and I feel a lot better now. I actually had a chat with a friend earlier this weekend and it just felt like such a release. I feel like I always talk about showing vulnerability. I always talk about, you know, the strength in discussing emotions, and then through talking to her I realized that things have been really tough for me in my personal life over the past few months, and I just kind of let everything all build up, and I didn't really want to talk to anyone about it because I wanted to be the person that was there for everyone else. And it sounds really silly, but I just didn't want to bring the tone down when I was speaking to people or catching up with friends after a long time of not seeing them. So it all began to build up, and I guess on that day I filmed it last week, it kind of brought back a lot of emotions, and it just kind of made me a bit like about everything, and so I filmed it, and it's actually making me quite nervous to post this because it's been a while since I've discussed any of the things in the video, and it's the first time I've really said things out loud, so it was very therapeutic for me and I felt a lot better for saying it afterwards. But anyway, rambling, I thought I would kind of explain what I meant and what I was doing. So basically last week I went to attend a shoot. I'm being interviewed for something that may be released in the next few weeks, and as I'm saying that, I'm now like, what if they don't release it? Whilst we were discussing and talking, something within me just kind of brought back up a lot of things in the past, including orthorexia, which I mentioned in the video later on. For those of you who don't know, you might be a new subscriber, you might be a new viewer, I went through a condition called orthorexia a few years ago. It was between the years of 2012 to 2015. It is a condition that is an obsession with having a pure, a clean and very healthy diet. I let it consume me. It kind of took over my life during the last years of university and the early years of me working whilst I was working in media, and it got to the point where I was being rushed to A&E quite a few times. I had to stay in hospital. I took a few months off work because I couldn't actually even walk, and the things got out of control, and it was a very tough period of my life during my early 20s, which is why talking about it a few years later is really strange for me. It's been 4 years now, nearly 5 years since it's happened, and my relationship with food is clearly a lot healthier, and I've completely changed my mindset on how I was then. But it was tough during the first few years of it, and that's why being able to do what I'm doing now means so much to me, because then I wouldn't have ever believed that there was literally a light at the end of the tunnel. I was in such a miserable place. I started watching the video that I actually made a few years ago, and it made me really upset because I really wanted to reach through the screen and hug the girl that I was a few years ago. She just looked so fragile, she looked so vulnerable, she had no direction, she couldn't see anything really like being better. Things are a lot different now, and I guess it was really hard because, as you can tell from the channel now, food brings me so much joy, and being also from an Asian background, food is the way to express love to one another. So when I was going through orthorexia, it kind of took a big part of that life away, and it kind of made it really hard for me to express love and also feel love. So I was like a shell of a person. I wasn't ever really myself, and that's why I always get quite emotional and very like thankful for what I get to do now, because at the end of the day this means a lot more to me than just a career. And being able to show the joys of food and being able to spread that joy to other people and to travel the world to experience different cultures and to eat different things, like, it's just changed the way that I felt about food, and it's made me even more motivated to share that gift with somebody, I guess, because I feel like it is a gift and a blessing to be able to enjoy all of the incredible food and things around the world, and be able to make human connections through what you're eating and expressing that through your face. Even if you can't speak the local language, you can show that something is delicious and that you appreciate the effort that they've made a dish for you. And I just never thought I would get here, so that's why things got extra emotional, because it just, so much has changed, and I welcome new changes in the future. But anyway, I'm rambling. This was meant to be an intro. I'm gonna let you watch what I filmed last week now, and yeah, thank you for watching in advance. Is this good? Let me try to awkwardly sit you down so I feel like we're properly having like a catch up. Got back from the shoot, it went very well, but now I feel really emotional afterwards, so I feel like this vlog might be more of me just talking to camera rather than me going out and about doing things, which hopefully you'll still like, because it's not me showing food and stuff. We kind of delve back into why I started making videos in the first place, what made me want to do it, and kind of the journey from starting it to at this point of me creating videos now. Also, I've got my curtain just being like, ooh, you know, kind of like rehashing things from the past, such as orthorexia, which I'm not sure how long you've been subscribed, but I did make a video about my struggles with orthorexia a few years ago, and it's been quite a while since I've really actually spoken about it, especially out loud. So it felt very weird to talk about a past version of me that is so different to the person I am now, and I do believe that I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now without that happening in my past. But it's just made me feel very emotional of what's happened. And I think sometimes as humans, we do get into a tendency to think way too much about the future and become so fixated on the next thing we want to achieve, the next milestone, that it's also so important, if not more important, to really self-reflect, focus on what has been happening, what you've achieved to get to where you are now, and just be grateful for the things that have happened along the way. And yeah, it wasn't until really being interviewed and being asked so rawly, is that a word? Rawly? Of those experiences, and also that curtain is like proper trying to collab on this video, and it just brought back a lot of memories and thoughts that I hadn't really thought about in a while. It just made me realise that I just never would have expected, making videos when I was 18 years old, that I would ever be able to be a part of like a really cool thing like this. Things were tough growing up, like things were pretty tough, and I never would have imagined that I'll be sitting here doing what I'm doing now and be able to wake up every single day just happy and being at peace with myself and having so many exciting opportunities and things. Like, if I was to tell my younger self back then like all of this stuff was coming, I probably wouldn't have believed you, because I just really wanted to escape my life when I was younger. So that's why I'm such an emotional person anyway. But if you follow me on Instagram or you know me in real life, then you'll probably know that I do get very like soppy and mushy, and I do get inside my head quite a lot. Like, whenever something like this happens, I always get overwhelmed, in the sense that I just get overcome with emotion, because it's just, I always just keep thinking, like, I just never think this cool thing would happen to me, and I never would have thought someone would give me the opportunities I get to do now, and I'm getting really emotional thinking about it now. But yeah, like, I just feel so lucky to be alive. I feel so lucky to be able to be a part of things like this, and yeah, I'm just like a really emotional mess. This week has been very emotional because I got to see all my favourite people and celebrate my birthday. I guess it's been like a very emotional few months, and all of this stuff is all happening, which is making me like just very grateful for everything that's going on now. So I say it a lot, but thank you for just being a part of this journey. Like, this really started off as a visual diary of my life that I wanted to look back on when I was older, and then along the way I've got to create such an incredible community of people and I feel like I have friends around the world, and I feel like people I can share these experiences with, and it really does mean a lot that I can share these little moments of my life, and hopefully through that can help somebody else feel better about themselves in their own skin, feel better about themselves, of who they are, their heritage, and just all of the stuff that happens along the way. It just makes me really happy to be given these chances, basically. I don't know if you know, I've got a little tattoo here that said all was well, and I wanted to have it done when I was probably about 16, 17, and then at the time I said I'm gonna wait till I'm 18 years old, and then 18 years old I was like, I am quite an indecisive person at times, so I'm gonna wait till I'm 21, and then I finally got it done the January before last, and it said all was well, which if you're a Harry Potter fan you'll know it's the last 3 words of Harry Potter, and the main reason why I got it was because Harry Potter serves as such a symbolic figure in my childhood, and when things got really tough, it was kind of like the well that I escaped to, and it provided me with so much imagination, and all the magic really whisked me to a different reality. And maybe it sounds silly as an adult talking about it now, but it really represented so much within me as a child, and it really helped me through some very tough times. So that's why for me this means like a lot, because I can look back on this tattoo and think all was well. Like, everything that's happened has happened. It's made me who I am today. It's always a silver lining to every situation, and there's always something to learn from every situation as well, and this kind of serves as a reminder that no matter how tough things are, I've survived it before, and things are always going to be good. Always will end up well. I'm a firm believer in happy endings. I'm an open book. Whatever I'm feeling is normally expressed all over my face. Like, I do a very bad job of hiding what I'm inherently feeling, and I am such a big believer that if you feel about something, the best way is to talk it out, whether it's with your close ones, whether it's with somebody that you trust. I love talking about emotions. I love going online and writing very rambly Instagram captions that should probably be kept on my phone notes, but there is strength in being vulnerable, and over the past year or so I guess I've been focusing so much more on the food and travel side that I've really not done this anymore, of actually just properly having a chat outside of Instagram captions and stories. So yeah, hopefully it's not too rambly and too much like, this isn't about hot pot or noodles, unsubscribe. Yeah, I don't know, just having a very emotional day today, and I feel like the past few months have been really emotional in my personal life, and I've not really given myself time to like properly stop. I just think sometimes, yeah, it is really important to obviously have a goal in mind, have things to aim for, and have a list of things that you want to personally and professionally achieve, but it's also very important to remember what brought you where you are now, who's helped you along the way, and all the things that you've achieved to where you are, and be proud of that, because there's so many things that we pick up on and so many things that we learn that we become so used to it that we don't actually acknowledge the skills that we have learned. Anyway, I'm gonna go and upload tonight's video now and answer a few emails, but a very rambly way of saying that today went well, I think. It's been really great, and I love meeting
people who are in the industry but have far more professional experience than I have, and I get really excited, so I always ask like a bunch of questions about it all, and luckily people are always very, very patient with me and they answer those questions, and I just come away just feeling so in awe with the people around us, and it's just so cool. Like, it's just so much that goes into this side of things, this world, and I just feel like the more I'm in it, the more I'm just so fascinated with everything that goes into production, to creating a story, to creating an impactful story and a message that could potentially influence others into having more of a positive mindset about their lives. I mean, even from today, like, just doing that has just given me so much food for thought. Love a pun. Yeah, so I just think basically too much into things. The most simple thing could happen. I could probably write an essay about why that happened and its mark in the universe. And I think even the curtain is hurrying me up to stop talking. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.